Hey guys, now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews. You're Ooh, you's a big and shiny, sir.
This is a shameful...
Hey, bub. Holy sh**. You suck.
Quite unfortunate.
Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're taking a look at a Marvel Select figure, and it's Colossus from the X-Men. I just finished up the Build-A-Figure Juggernaut wave, and I really liked those X-Men figures, but to be honest, I don't know if the Juggernaut was as great as a Build-A-Figure as a lot of people have been saying. It's fun, but I think I like my Select a lot more, and they happened to put out the Colossus, and we didn't get a Colossus in this wave. I think we're going to get one in an upcoming wave, but this is definitely a fun-looking figure, and I picked it up at my local FYE in the Greenwood Park Mall for $25, so I thought, why not add him to the collection? So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. And here we have Colossus in package. As you can tell, it's pretty large packaging. I mean, you can see the edges of my review stand. And yeah, this is pretty much the same kind of packaging we get with the other Select figures like the Hulk and Juggernaut and those characters. So we get some comic book artwork in the back here. It says Colossus Marvel Select. It's got an X-Men logo down there. There is Colossus. He comes with a accessory piece, which kind of looks like one of those, bed of nails kind of thing, but it actually something else, and it shows it off in the back packaging. We get this really nice artwork of Colossus right here in red. I'm really digging that. Top of the package doesn't really have anything, so just kind of a close-up really quick. It says Marvel Select. There he is, and it says Colossus! There's the X logo, like a little sticker on there that looks pretty cool. And then here's that artwork of Colossus, just looking all kinds of neat. I am digging that. Here is the back of the packaging. So the back of the packaging, we have a write-up, a pretty extensive write-up on Colossus here, which is nice. Here's a picture of him and his accessory piece. And it looks like a bed to me, but here's where it actually comes from. It's from a comic book, The Trial of Colossus, where you get two big old pieces that are sandwiching him. It's in the danger room, but this doesn't look big enough. It just doesn't look big enough. I don't know. But he is kind of hunched over underneath him, so I don't know. At least give us two of them, maybe. I don't know. But we get Gambit and Cyclops in this wave. Gambit looks really neat. Cyclops, not so much. Alright, so just kind of a close-up here. If I can get this whole thing in frame. So if you want to pause and read that, you are more than welcome to. Yeah, there he is. Dun, dun, dun. Here's the comic book that accessory is from. Again, it's from the Danger Room. Here is Gambit and Cyclops. Gambit looks pretty neat, I do have to say. Hope we get a Marvel Legends of Gambit pretty soon. That'd be kind of nice. But that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get Colossus out of box and see what we think. So here we have Colossus out of package. And I gotta say, I really like this figure a lot. I'm very impressed with it. I actually picked this up because I watched the late Glenn Webb's review on this guy a few months back. He compared this one to I think it was the Toy Biz Colossus figure. And, oh man, I fell in love with this thing on screen. Found it at my local Greenwood Park Mall and had to get him. And he is for sure worth the $25 that I paid for him. He does come with the obligatory Marvel licensed product Diamond Select pamphlet. It's got all the Marvel Now characters there. We get a whole bunch of Mini-Mates. Not much of a Mini-Mates fan, really. Business reply. I will be filling out the questionnaire, though. The Villains one looks kind of interesting. I like the Doctor Doom one. That looks kind of interesting. The Villain Zombies. On the back, we get the Marvel Select Magneto zombie. I'd like to see that in the Marvel Legends, actually. But all of these zombie selects, very, very cool. The Cable Select, that is pretty cool looking. Definitely digging that. Looks kind of like Ron Perlman I'd like to get him at some point, actually. And then they've got these Migos, and these Migo type. They're not actually Migo, but they look like Migos. And I've seen a couple of these. I've seen the Spider-Man. There's Captain America, and I think there's a Thor out there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, kind of fun. Alright, and then we have the accessory. Don't get me wrong, I'm appreciative that we got an accessory bit, especially pretty good size accessory bit. This thing's probably bigger than a 6-inch figure, I would guess. I don't know, is it? Let me grab one real quick. Let me grab Crappy Havoc. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This thing is taller than a 6-inch action figure. So that's pretty cool. Like the size, I like the paint on it. It's well painted. It stands pretty stable. It's just, I don't know. You'd have to like mount it up on a wall or something to get it to do anything. It just does not look like it's much of a threat to Colossus here. Now, granted, in the comics, he's kind of bent over, actually, when you look at that comic page, which is kind of interesting, but at least give us 2 so we can have him smash, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's me. I'm probably not going to use this thing. It will sit in a drawer and never to be seen again. Alright, so back to the main attraction here. I mean, this guy, I love it. I love it. I think it's very, very cool. He is tall, but he's not as gargantuan as, say, like the Hulks or the Juggernaut figure. So, yeah, he's definitely very cool. Let's go ahead and compare this guy to some Marvel Legends. So here we have Colossus with the latest wave of X-Men figures, at least a couple of them that he would appear in the comics with. And to be honest, I think the scale's pretty decent. He might be a little too high, but depending on who drew the comic, he was Colossus. I mean, that's the whole point. He's Colossus, right? And you can actually articulate him to get him a little bit shorter to kind of nip the scale. I personally think Colossus should be massive. Take a look at him in the Deadpool movie, which is, I think, why this is resurging right now in the stores. And, I mean, he's huge. Absolutely huge. And this works for me in my X-Men collection. Alright, now as far as articulation goes, this is very close to a Marvel Legend figure. His head is on a ball joint. He can look up and down. He can look left to right. His head actually spins all the way around. It's got lots of really good movement. Definitely digging that. He does not have anything at the waist, but he does have this diaphragm joint. He can look down that far. He can bend back quite a bit. And he can spin all the way around, which is kind of cool. Arms go up about that far. It is stiff. They do twist, and then he has a twist at the upper bicep. He only has a single jointed elbow, but a lot of the Marvel Legends large figures are like that too. No twist at the little band there. His wrist twists. It is also on a hinge joint, which is very cool. I'm definitely digging that for posing. His legs go up about that far. They don't hardly go out any. There is a twist at the upper thigh. They do expand out, which is nice. He's got a double jointed knee, which is very, very nice. Definitely digging that for poses. And he does have a boot hinge up here, or swivel, whatever you want to call it. He's got articulation in his ankle, and he's got that crazy ankle rocker pivot that we love! With this being his widest possible stance, with both feet still flat on the floor. First time I've ever said that for a Marvel Select figure. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, I love this head sculpt. This screams the old comic book Colossus to me, and it really, really reminds me of the movie version in Deadpool. I think they did a great job with it. I love the top of the suit. It's got the red and yellow. It's got some nice paint wash on that yellow that gives it a lot of depth. Very cool, both on the front and the back there. I love the Marine style haircut he's got going on there, high and tight. And I mean, that's what I think of when I think Colossus. And they definitely put a great image of Peter's face into plastic. Now, looking at the midsection of the figure, I love the belt back there. It's got the metallic gold and red paint apps. I like the suit. The arms look great. They're kind of a shiny aluminum color. It's got the lines, but not too many. And the braces on his wrists, that metallic red, very, very cool. And then the buckle on the X there, just really, really nice. I mean, overall, the paint apps on this guy, and I forgot to mention when I was looking at the head sculpt there, he's got the bright blue eyes. Very beautiful. All the paint wash in the arms there just makes this look like a great, great figure. And finally, looking at the legs of the figure, again, I love that metallic skin they got going on there. It's a shiny aluminum metal color, plus they got that nice paint wash on there. It just really, really looks metallic. The boots are done right. Again, they got some nice black paint spray on there, or paint wash. That kind of gives it a little detail. It's not just flat red, which is very, very cool. I appreciate that. And the yellow paint apps at the top of the boots, very accurate to the comic. And I gotta say, I'm super impressed with the double jointed knees and the ankle pivot. This is more of a giant Marvel Legends style figure than it is a Select. And I'm absolutely in love with it. Alright, let's go ahead and compare this guy to some larger figures, including some Bats and some other Marvel Selects. Here we have Colossus next to Giant Man. And Giant Man's just not very giant, but he is pretty tall. He's one of my taller Bats, actually. But it's interesting to see them side by side. This really makes Giant Man just look large. Here we have Colossus next to the King Thor or Odin Build-A-Figure, and Colossus towers over the puny god. Here we have Colossus next to the Build-A-Figure Rhino, and even though he is taller, this would be a really fun diorama fight to put together. Here we have Colossus next to the Build-A-Figure Groot, and this is actually a knockoff of Groot. A very nice knockoff. I got for like 12 bucks, I think, off of eBay. And Colossus is a lot taller. I think this guy should be taller than Colossus. I don't know if the actual Build-A-Figure is or not, but yeah, definitely cool to see them side by side. And if you haven't seen this, he's got a LED in him that glows. Maybe that's the Tree of Life. I don't know. Why not? It's a knockoff. And here we have Colossus with my latest Build-A-Figure, the Juggernaut from the X-Men wave. And these two scale really, really well together. I can totally see this scale in a comic book and, you know, be a great, great fight. I can't remember. I'm sure Colossus fought Juggernaut back in the day. I just can't remember any exact comics. Can you? Here we have Colossus next to the Marvel Select Juggernaut. And this Juggernaut is huge. And it's still, I mean, it's scaled together pretty well. I mean, it's the Juggernaut, for goodness sake. But I do gotta say, even though I love this figure and I think it's worth $25 every penny of it, of all my Marvel Selects, I think this is my best value of plastic for $1 because he was 25 bucks and this thing, it feels like it weighs 5 pounds. It probably weighs maybe a pound, but yeah, it's got lots of plastic, but really cool to see them side by side. Here is Colossus next to the Marvel Select Thing, another one of my favorite Marvel Selects. I just love this Thing figure. It's so massive, so heavy. I mean, it looks like a brick, and it feels like a brick. Here is Colossus next to the Marvel Select Hulkbuster. And, I don't know, this Hulkbuster is feeling kind of small to me. I need to get the Build-A-Figure and see what the size scale is. I don't know, maybe it is right. I don't know. I love this Hulkbuster. It's very pretty. In fact, it has a lot of the same or similar metallic paint on the cuffs on his bands there that this has all over the figure. And finally, here he is next to the Marvel Select Incredible Hulk, and I like the scale, my favorite Hulk, and now my favorite Colossus. So is the Marvel Select Colossus a figure that you want in your X-Men collection? Yes. I'm going to say yes. I mean, this thing's $25 retail at the mall, for goodness sakes. Which is $5 more than a Marvel Legends, like at Toys R Us or at Walmart. And it's got damn near the same posability as a Marvel Legends. Really, the only thing it's missing is the double-jointed elbow. And I can forgive that because a lot of the larger figures and the Build-A-Wave stuff only have single elbow joints for the larger figures. So, yeah. It scales really nicely with the 6-inch figures. You can get it to shorten down a little bit by articulation, and or just put it in the background of your characters. It's perfect with the select figures because it is a select figure, and I mean it's beautifully painted. I have zero complaints really on this figure. I'm absolutely super glad I found it and picked it up. You can get this figure. I got mine at FYE. At the mall. You can get these at your local comic book store. You can go to Big Bad Toy Store. Think Geek probably sells these. They're all over the place, so if you see one and you're a Marvel collector, definitely pick him up. So there he is, the Marvel Select Colossus.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.